I'm still not about the branding, but I wish I was. All right. So first thing I want to talk about on what's good is something that we picked up last week. We talked about a couple weeks ago and came out last week. Is the Ice Cream Man card deal, the Mortal Coil Shuffle. This is like a comic book in 55 pages, and it's very cool. I mean, it was in the top in Tom's. I don't want to drop it because it's in the order that you should read it. You don't want to shuffle this.
Oh, really?
It's literally called the Mortal Coil Shuffle. Do not shuffle it. So,
oh wow, okay.
Because like the first page is see if you can see a little bit of that there without the reflection getting on it, and it has like the caption down below, and you just read the story page by page, and you just put it.
Is it numbered?
Mm-hmm. They did.
Okay.
You just drop all these, and like it'd be totally fucked if they weren't numbered. You're like, if I dropped all of them, but, they are numbered. But some people are like, you got to put them back in order. You done fucked up now. You got to put them back in order. All right, but I think this is good. So $10, $9.99. I try to get the. I thought they're gonna. So maybe it was Damien said he had another copy, quote unquote, that he could part with. I was going to trade him a book for this, but I got to get back with him. I want to get another copy just so I can have a backup because it's never going to be returned. It's never going to. This is it. This is never going to be done again. No second printings. No.
That is kind of cool, man. That's real cool. If they're not doing that again,
never doing it again. Never doing it again. Not doing a second printing of this one. So. You can't find one. That's why I think that when the Ice Cream Man blows up, it's still pretty obscure.
Yeah,
it's still pretty, kind of a niche thing, and even in the indie world. So I think once there's an Ice Cream Man like vehicle, like a show, and there will be an Ice Cream Man.
There's gotta be.
There will be. It's too good. It's like very Twilight Zone.
Exactly. And Twilight Zone got a new comic book that I don't know if that dropped this week, maybe next week. But
yeah.
Having that run, I would assume that the show is going to be. Is the show back or no? Because they had it like a couple years back. I think Jordan Peele. Produced it.
That was a minute ago, though. Yeah, they did have it's a property that can always come back out. It's established. It can come out somebody else. Jordan Peele might come back with more shows.
I just think it's a lot of horror streaming sites that could pick up Ice Cream Man and make it a thing.
For real.
Pick it up.
For real. What I do? Oh, here we go. All right. What's the first book I want to do here? First one is last week before last, penultimate book. That one is from my guy, Rodney Barnes. I'm going to say Rodney Burns. Rodney Barnes. Rodney Burns. And that was Crownsville. Nice. From Rodney Barnes, written by Rodney Barnes and illustrated by Ilya Bonetti. This is on Oni Press. And I didn't have time to make. I usually have like accompanying videos to go with the stuff, but what can I tell you, folks? I didn't have time. I'm just going to read an opinion of it and then tell you my opinion of it. Now show you some.
Get it in post. Do it in post.
Yeah. Now you got it. Yes. That's still more work, though. I don't know. Those videos, man.
You gotta go to sleep at some point.
I know. All right, Crownsville, #1, Rodney Barnes and Ilya Bonetti, and founded at the turn of the 20th century outside Annapolis, Maryland. The Crownsville Hospital was notoriously segregated, all black psychiatric institute. After decades of overcrowding and neglect, alongside darker, more persistent rumors of patient abuse and illegal medical experiments, it was finally closed. Today, it stands condemned, a crumbling testament to a legacy of all too real terror inflicted on a marginalized and vulnerable community. But even as a ruin of its former self, Crownsville still casts a long shadow. When an unexplained death inside the abandoned hospital is ruled a suicide, Annapolis police detective Mike Sims and journalist Paul Belair are compelled to dig deeper, only to discover the reality of the horrors that once took place there and the powerful connection they share to the anguished spirits of the dead that are still locked within its walls.
Nice.
Man, this is like so well written and drawn. I mean, I had a great time reading this. I can show like some of the interiors. The art of Ila Bonetti it looks like it looks almost photographic. You know, it's almost that sepia kind of a tone look, and it's spooky as shit because it goes so well. And it begins like this. They still, you know, the joint's been closed for years, but they still, I guess, got, you know, they gotta have security guards even in abandoned buildings to keep people from, you know, I guess taking what valuable stuff there is in there, or just like setting it on fire and starting it, you know, some kind of a thing. So there's a security guard that's working overnight in what formerly was Crownsville. And he hears some shit like, man, what does that sound? And he's walking around. This guy was a former cop. And he goes into one of the hallways and he hears laughter and shit. And then he just sees like some weird, And meanwhile, there's this other brother who is, he's a reporter. And he's at another hospital, and he's at the general hospital, which is still open. And his mother is dying. He's spending time with his mother, and his mother tells him that, you know, son, there's something I need to tell you. I've been keeping this a secret for my entire life, but now that the end is near, you know, she starts telling me I was once a nurse at Crownsville. Tell you all the stuff that's going on there, but all of a sudden she started to tell me, you know, she started to die. I was like, hang on. You know, of course, she doesn't get to tell him. You know, she codes out, and and the end. You know, so that sucks. Meanwhile, another brother who's who's starting his first day as a security guard. Guess where he's assigned? Crownsville.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, right. So we got three main characters that are linked by Crownsville through different methods. He's talking to his wife, like, you know, he's been through a little shit. You know, he got caught with some weed when he was a kid, and it went on his record. And you know, he's finally glad to get glad to get this job as a security guard, even though it's just watching, you know, an empty ass building at night. You know, the graveyard shift. So he's head out to Crownsville to start his first shift. Same time, the cat that whose mother was dying, has died now, is sitting on the dock, you know, just, you know, he's meeting his editor, because he's a journalist, right? And his editor tells him, you know what, we got to let you go. We got to lay you off. You know, cuts and all that, you know, and newspapers are dying, yada, yada, yada. So, damn, your mama's dead, you know, you're losing your job, you know, but, you know, and the other editor tells me, you know what, we got one more assignment for you. There's this case that has to do with Crownsville. Oh. You see how it just gets like serendipitous. It's just like, all of a sudden, you know, it's crazy. And meanwhile, the security guard comes to work, and all of a sudden he finds he come to relieve the guy, and the guy's hanging.
Of course. Of course.
I know, right?
Oh man. Listen, man. You ain't gotta pay bills that bad, man. Get out of there.
Oh God. You know, and the cop gets there. You know, the cops get there. They one was mad because it was this boy who allegedly hung himself. You know, he's trying to make the new security guard for this crime. What you do when you got here? You sure you weren't the one that then hung him? You're like, dude, it's my first day at the job. Why'd I hang the guy? You know, but you just, you know, pissed off because his friend's dead, and, you know, trying to find, you know, cops are lazy. You know, not every cop is a detective. You know, so some cops are detectives, and they want to always do the right thing and become a cop so they could solve crimes and shit like that. Many times those cops get promoted and become detectives. Sometimes they get marginalized and kicked off the force. You know, but I won't go into what the other cops do.
We definitely
so the journalist guy gets his assignment. You know, he's okay. Well, I'm going to dig this up. Plus, I'm interested now because my mom told me that she was a nurse at this place, and she died before she was able to explain to me what she wanted to tell me. So he goes to sleep that night, he has this nightmare where his mom is in the dream, and she tells him a little bit more than she told him when she was in person, but not enough. So that's kind of spooky. And so after all this goes down, there's a cop, the old detective who's retiring from the force very soon, and he's hanging out at this bar, or not a bar, but like a diner. He's having a talk with his friend who's I think she's kind of like maybe they kind of like just friends, but he might be kind of sweet on her, and he's saying that I'm going to hang it up. I've been here all this time, and they conversation goes into Crownsville. Like everybody talks about Crownsville because when he was a kid, his mom used to tell him like you keep back in the field and send your ass to Crownsville.
Oh, wow.
Like a threat, because somebody wants to go there. I remember it's a side thing. I remember when used to take the train down south from Chicago. They used the mental hospital in Kankakee. And I remember my mother and my grandmother, they used to always say like, oh, Kankakee is where the crazy house is. And I was like a little kid. What the fuck is a crazy house? I'm imagining like, some like Pee-wee Herman, some crazy looking fucking house, like a weird, like it's Dr. Seuss kind of a thing, It'll be pass by with the train. I'm looking like, where's the crazy house, conductor? He look like, what's up, kid? There's no crazy house. But anyway, so he's thinking like, and he meets the journalist at a crime scene, and they start talking about they're both interested in Crownsville. And they team up, so you can see how this is going to become at some point, their case, one last case. I love those kind of books, man. This is so good.
Case.
Yeah, and then the brother, who's like the security guard, he's starting to kind of, rather than be afraid of the ghosts, he's kind of like feeling like welcomed by them because they seem to treat him with respect. Because there's like mostly like kids and like people who were like wronged and stuff like that. So he's not afraid of them. So a lot of good layered stories in this book. And as Rodney Burns is tough to tell. Crownsville is a definite winner. I sub to that. Let's blindly sign me up.
The artwork they choose for his books, man. The artists they choose for his books are really good with the story.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Mm-hmm. So I salute to that, man.
I think he probably has enough pull now to be able to pick who he wants as an artist now. Maybe he's one of those kind of artists. I think he's after Philadelphia, which is also pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Phil.
All right, cool.
Phil 999. I got to get your stuff out that you won last week. I haven't been able to do anything. Hello, sir. And the other Phil, I owe a couple of Phils some books, so I got to get those out. House is he got his deck yesterday from his ice cream man thing. That's awesome. So I'll be getting those out to you this week, gentlemen. One of those things. Mojo, I love Crownsville. I also love Deluge. I haven't read that.
Yes, man. It's a good book.
Cul-de-sac I've got. And Central Recall. Yes, I haven't read Central Recall yet, but I read Cul-de-sac. I need to read Deluge. That's on the list. That's a Cullen Bunn book, I want to say. Deluge.
Yeah. I think book 2 dropped this week, either this week or next week. I think it's. Okay. Well, I didn't see it at the store, so it may drop next week. But Deluge is good.
Soon, if not already.
My what's good, man. Let's get into this, man. This book came out with 1985, and I'm talking about Mr. Monster.
Mr. Monster. Oh, who's the publisher on that?
This is a Eclipse comic. I haven't seen anybody talk about this or anything. It's hard for me to find the rest of the issues. Of course, I'm going to end up hunting them down, which is always my fun thing to do. My favorite thing to do. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure my comic shop has some, but I got to hit the stores first to see if I can find this. The first issue introduces Mr. Monster, a creature like Vane in the vein of like Van Helsing. And in this issue specifically, less than fearsome werewolf seeks the aid of Monster Hunter. So this is dude that gets bitten by a werewolf. He gets bitten by a werewolf, and he turns to a werewolf, of course, every full moon. And he's like he gets aggressive when he is a werewolf, and then he's like a really like skinny nerd dude when he's not a werewolf. So he has to find Mr. Monster. But the only reason he finds Mr. Monster is to save this girl that he met named Millie. He wants to save her because a group of werewolves took her away from him. And so he's on this hunt to find this girl. He finds out that the bikers had took his girl, and they want him to, now they want the nerd dude named Myron. They want Myron to join the gang. And the only way they will let Millie go and he has to join the gang, the only way he can do that is by killing Mr. Monster. All right.
Yeah.
And so he finds Mr. Monster. He's like, I want your help, but I don't want to do what they want me to do. They want me to kill you for the initiation. I don't want to do that, but I want you to help me get my girl back. And I will say this before I continue the story. The artwork in this book is amazing. This is a really good book. This is really cool.
Who's the artist?
This is William Messner.
Oh,
this is a super cool book.
I bought it at a convention and never got a chance to read it yet.
You gotta read. It's funny.
I have this, yeah, the first one at least, yeah.
It's a dry humor in a way. It's good though. I like it. So anyway, he finds Mr. Monster, and Mr. Monster's like, okay, I will help you get your girl back. And he finds out that Myron has been followed by the gang of werewolves that have Millie already. And so they ambush Mr. Monster in his house and try to kill him and get rid of him. The whole time, Myron is a werewolf the whole time, but he's just not aggressive yet. He's a werewolf, but he's not necessarily aggressive because it's not full moon all the way yet, but it's getting there. And so Mr. Monster has to deal with them. He ends up fighting them, doing what they're doing, knocking them out. This is the thing that's cool about this that I like the most. It's a twist in a way. And I don't know if this is through the whole series or not. Okay. So eventually, Mr. Monster gets his gun. He does what he does. He blasts them up. He goes to actually not repair, but like do surgery on Myron to cure the werewolf in him, so he can try to take it out. So he won't turn into a werewolf. Yeah, exactly. So he wants to, because Myron doesn't want to be a werewolf. He wants to marry Millie. That's what he wants to do. He wants to get out of here, marry Millie, live a normal life. Mr. Monster's like, I can perform this, but I'm still testing it. I don't know if this is exactly going to work.
Uh-oh.
And Myron's like, just do it. I'll do it anyway, right? So they go down to Mr. Monster's lair, and as he's performing surgery, one of the werewolves that he thought he killed come back alive. And I forgot the head werewolf's name, but he comes back alive and he's trying to kill Mr. Monster while he's doing the surgery, right? As he attacks Mr. Monster, Mr. Monster falls on the ground. They have like an on-ground battle. Mr. Monster has an assistant as well. She's down there with him, and she comes up with, Mr. Monster has this serum that's in his lair or whatever. And she puts the needle in there and takes some of the serum, and she throws it to Mr. Monster, and it stabs him in his shoulder. It's supposed to be like they portray it as a serum that's supposed to kill the monster, the werewolf. Yeah. She throws it and it hits him in the shoulder, and he turns into a vampire. Mr. Monster turns into this vampire. Yeah. And he's like super strong. He like punches a hole through the werewolf's side, and he like destroys the werewolf. And then he continues to do the surgery, and I guess it was a success. What happens is he does the surgery, and then Myron wakes up and he's like normal again, whatever. They leave, and then I think they come back like a month later or something. Him and Millie come back like a month later to let Mr. Monster know that they're getting married and they want him to be their best man. And Mr. Monster's like, okay, cool. And then Myron asked what Mr. Monster did, and what Mr. Monster did during the surgery. And all he did was he pretty much like it's weird. I don't know how he explained it exactly, but he pretty much said, I made it to where the werewolf gene, you turn to a werewolf during the full moon. When that gene activates, it makes you really, really, really tired. So you just sleep as a werewolf. Huh. You're not cured, but when it's a full moon, it activates that werewolf gene, and then it activates you being really tired. So you just sleep during the full moon the whole day. And that's how he cured it. Which I thought was really cool, man. Turn into a werewolf and fall right asleep. Right. right. You gotta watch the moons for sure, man. You know,
like a bad drunk or something.
retrograde.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, the thing is that I like that was cool about this. Not only the artwork, but they treat it kind of like a old cartoon, like a real like a 60s cartoon. They have like a "we'll be right back after these messages" type of vibe.
Yeah.
In the corners here, and each one, and then each page, every time you come back from the messages, kind of sort of, they explain what just happened. You know how they
Oh,
used to do in the cartoons, like, Batman's trapped in this and he has to get
yeah.
out. And like after the message, that's what they do in this, and it's really cool how they do it. The artwork in this is phenomenal, man. I love this artwork. It's really cool. Michael Gilbert is the writer. I would highly recommend, if you have not read this or have this, this is something that I'm going to be a big fan of. I don't know if the whole series is him turning into monsters the whole time, because you find out that you find out that the serum was like years and years of vampire blood that he like collected or something like that, and that's what made him like really really strong, because it's like all those vampires' strength that was in that blood or in that serum that he made. So it's kind of just like he gets all those powers, the strength and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But I'm curious. I don't know if the next issue he's going to be turned into like something else by
Yeah.
accident or something. I think it's kind of cool. So Mr. Monster is the what's good for me, man.
Oh man, I would dig that up. I'm pretty sure I got that. That cover looks familiar, and that name of the artist sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I could dig it up to find it.
I read this today and I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing, dude. Who has that? Why
right away.
talk about this?
Yeah, that's great, man. Thank you for sharing. Wow. All right. My last what's good is a book called No Place.
Yeah. What is this, man? What is this?
No Place. No Place Like Home. It's like I was thinking kind of like it was a book called No One. It was out a few years ago, but this is a very different thing. This is by Tim Seeley, and this is actually the Tim Seeley cover. Oh, this is the A cover. This is the Tim Seeley cover. It was very similar. Is this one here? It's like and that's because the colorist who is named Stefano Simone did the colors for both of these. Tim Seeley did the penciling for here, and the color was done by Simone, and great color job too. All right, let's see if I can get through this here. Mariposa, it's a young lady's name, Mariposa Montiel, is having a cruel homecoming. As a daughter of immigrants, the outcast teenager is no stranger to scrutiny, but this is another level. Years after vanishing from her Chicago neighborhood, Mari has returned to a traumatized family and a media circus with nothing but a tiger-striped feather and an extraordinary tale of her time away as the champion of a magical jungle land called Mehihula. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's just kind of a weird spelling. Mari is met as a fraud, and her story makes her a stranger in her own life until an eccentric high-tech organization known as N.O. No Place emerges from the shadows and welcomes her home. Led by a legend from the land of Oz, the secret agency has its finger on the pulse of so-called fictional worlds. And as its newest recruit, Mari is now called upon to save her own, or our own world, from a creeping Lovecraftian nightmare. So this stuff is creeping into this world now from Mari's existence. This is very much like a fantastical. I've used that term a lot, but this is really like based in fantasy. All the books that you've known that you love, like the Land of Oz and what is it, the Witch and the Wardrobe and all those kind of books. All those reality. This organization NO, which I forget what it stands for, but it's like this organization that monitors people who have been to other worlds, and they know that she was there, so they believe her story. And she comes back to like a social media and shit. This is the land she was in, with the magical tiger and all that shit. And
that cover looks good.
Yeah, I know, man. Both of the
I like that.
I got both of the covers.
And that's the interior art as well. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Man.
The colorist Simone does the interior art. Tim Seeley just does he writes it and does because Tim Seeley writes and draws. So
Yeah.
he just does the writing on this one. I've seen Simone's work somewhere else in some other books too, and usually been I've liked it because of the coloring style that he uses.
Mhm.
You can see where Mari is like back at her job in this world as a waitress after being like the queen of that world. It's like a big demotion. Like dumbass. Aren't you that girl that was missing for all that time and you came back?
God.
I'll just have fries. With kids like that when I was working at waiting tables. They come in, order a big basket of fries, like 10 of them, and they sit around for like 2 or 3 hours and never tip. So yeah, she's
my God.
she's living that life now. And her co-worker's like, look, that's your table. I'm not taking your table, okay?
She just want to be lost again now.
Yeah. Oh, take me back. So and she pops in and out as it is, because she goes home where her dad is like they haven't fallen on hard times, and they have to count every penny that they bring in from her tips and stuff. And you see that the reality is kind of like breached right there because she sees like one of her comrades from the world popping through. The next thing you know, she's back. She's back into she's back in the real world in this world, I should say. And this guy, this agent, this cat named I think Alan, Alan Dion. He's like an agent of an old place, and he comes and contacts her, and he knows who she is. And she's like, look, just come hang with me for a while. I got somebody I want you to meet. And they go to this place in the Pilsen neighborhood of Chicago, which I'm familiar with. It's a very interesting looking rendition of Marina City there. And this looks like a gas station, like in this neighborhood, but it's totally not. You go through the door, it's like the Doctor Who TARDIS, it's on the gas station on the outside. Open it up, bam, the whole different world. And on the inside,
it's a speakeasy.
Exactly. On the inside is like this super complex place, and the person that represents that land of Oz is none other than Dorothy Gale, who's like way over 100 years old. All grown up. She stopped growing at probably like age 29.
Okay.
But she stopped aging, I should say, at age 29. And she said, I'm Dorothy Gale. I'm in charge of this place here. And we, monitor all the people who have been to places like, the Neverland, and the other place, the other few, Alice. She went to a different place. Maria, who did Maria go to? Oh, that was probably the Neverland thing. But she monitors all that stuff. And of course, she said, well, I was in Oz for a long time, but then Oz fell, and there was a revolution and all that stuff, and yada, yada, yada. So it's an interesting book. I mean, it's kind of like,
wow.
I think it would work as an all ages book, too, even though it's kind of a heavy subject matter. There's like, there's a lot of horror and stuff like that. But there's no like nudity. There's no dirty words.
Right now. Right now, it isn't.
Right now, yes, correct. But and then Mari goes home after that. It's like, you know what, I just want this to all be over. And then she has another experience with another comrade of hers, which wasn't very pleasant. This person, this individual, came to tell her that shit's going down, in the old homestead where it used to be, and it's not good. So she goes back to the place to no place and tells Dorothy and Alan, like, what I got to do. Okay, let's do this. So I think
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
That's crazy. I like the fact that they taken this this approach of like Oz and Wonderland and all these different places.
Yes,
and giving it, they're not necessarily they making it a big universe of universes. They're talking about. I think that's kind of cool.
Yes, and the cool thing about it is so many of these are in the public domain. So you can do this without having to pay any royalties. You can just do what you want with them. So
what's funny? The fact that you brought that up. I started this book today. I haven't finished it, but I started this today, and it's Dark Oz. Did you read this at all?
No.
This is a Arrow comic. I got this off of my comic shop maybe like last week.
Really? You keep
And
finding the obscure ones, man. I thought I found obscure stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, I found it and I started it and I realized that there's another run of this. It's like they took the Wizard of Oz and then they did a run of like I guess it's just called Oz. I gotta look it up. It's a
Mhm.
12-book run of that, and then it goes into this to Dark Oz. So I once I realized that I put it down, but I want to collect that run first before I see what's going on here. They do kind of explain what's going on, what happened in the first run,
Uh-huh.
but I want that first run first. So that's crazy that you brought that up, and I was just started reading this today.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
You know, Scotty Young did an Oz series back in the day too, before he got really big. And he was the what they call it, the Wonderful Land of Oz or something like that. But you can just do Oz books all day long. I think that's just put your own spin on it, you know. So that's the beautiful thing about Oz is that there's just so much and other properties like that that are easily, you can just like take it in like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Because
Sure.
the other stuff is is nothing is new. It's about what are you going to do with it? How are you going to spin it for yourself? You can make it interesting for a new audience. If so, let's do it. Yeah,
I don't know if people are still watching Wizard of Oz or the Wiz. I mean, I personally like the Wiz personally, but that's a whole.
Oh yeah, he's on down the road.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. Emerald City, you know what I mean? Best song in the movie, but I don't know if kids like today are watching those movies. Like I don't know if they watching Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if they watching or Peter Pan. And we had what's the one that came out, Lost Boy, that had to do with like he was like Peter Pan.
Boy?
Yeah.
A few months ago, the Last Boy. Yeah, that was a Peter Pan book. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's cool to see them take these properties and make it a thing just as much as it's cool to see the Universal monsters come back with Image. They doing their whole thing. So it's ramping like the old properties that came up back in the day, and it's cool to be able to see that. So I hope they really make something of it.
I hope so too. Yep. So that's what's good for tonight. Thank you very much. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.